Hey guys, it's Spaces Sins, and as promised, obviously we're back with more Virche Evermore. Hi, you know the drill by now, but as promised, we're gonna do the common route bad endings, because, we're already in the mode for trauma. To be fair, it's gonna be trauma for a while, and then we get to do the salvation ends, which, I'm thinking aren't gonna be much less trauma. Maybe a little bit less traumatic, but probably still not actually good. So, we're strapped in. So, starting out, I loaded up our common route save file 1. So, we're going to not accept Unko's proposal here, because this is when he is proposing an agreement. And then we're going to die, basically. So don't accept. I'm going to guess that we stab ourselves in the throat then, because that's the scene we're in. I stopped to contemplate my decision. Assuming I believed what he said, it doesn't change the fact that I've brought misfortune onto everyone. For all I know, even if Eve survived, he might be suffering from some after effect. Still, even if I did want to die now, Anko took the dagger from me and disappeared. I looked up into the sky. Maybe I should head to the beach and think about my next course of action. I gazed out at the quiet ocean waves. A thought flashed through my mind. Only I could be washed away and let myself sink to the bottom of the ocean. I felt pathetic at the thought that suicide had become my focus instead of repentance. What should I do? I can't go back to the orphanage now. As I walked along the shore, the tip of my foot kicked something small atop the rocks. Oh, okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie. When she said I'm gonna go to the beach, I'm like, is John gonna stab us? Cause but then I'm like, but now we have the bottle. Okay, I was like, we don't have the bottle, right? So he wouldn't just come up and attack us, but at the same time, maybe he would. Kind of fitting that the first bad end you can get, ties into Mathis's route so hard. Okay. I bent down to pick it up and discovered a beautiful bottle filled with water and flowers. I mean, when she said I'm going to the beach, your logical thought was, oh, fuck, Camille. Jamil's gonna stab us. So pretty. I wonder whose it is. Just as I mumbled those words, I heard footsteps coming from behind me. I turned on my heel expecting to find Anko following me, but... Ugh! My mouth was covered with a wet cloth before I even had the chance to turn around. I instantly felt drowsy and my eyelids grew heavy. My consciousness began to fade. I did what I could to resist, but the person behind me had a firm hold on my body. Anko? The person behind me laughed scornfully. I felt myself being tossed onto their shoulder and carried away. I wasn't able to save a single person. I was merely a cursed girl spreading misfortune onto others. My body was cut open numerous times, so long as I still had the breath of life in me. I was submerged into a cold solution as soon as I lost all human function. I wished that I was truly dead. Torture continued endlessly, till I was finally released into the merciful hands of death. Well, that was fun! Good times, right, guys? Beautiful, lovely. Okay. Oops. We need to do save file 2. Okay, so I told you this was going to be a short part, right? Because, this one we've got a lot more choices, but we're going to be skipping through a lot because, that was inexorable death. And this one is death's embrace. So, pretty sure we're going to die here too. But anyway, this is when we saw that adorable little girl who has a sprite and has never come back into the picture and is... Okay. So we're going to kill her now? I don't know. She gonna come up in a later route. Maybe Lucas is. It's she's at the hospital and Lucas is tied to the hospital and stuff, right? So that makes sense. And Capucine. Oh. Like, her and Capucine, then, I feel like, are they tied to Lucas? So, like, good God, what's going to happen here? Because we saw what happened to the side character that's tied to Mathis. And then Hugo. Oh, Hugo, you can't hurt me like this. Ah. Oh, and Dahoud. Oh, he's probably the one that gave fucking Jamil all that shit. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, why are all our side characters shady? To be fair, Capucine always kind of seemed a little shady because he kind of seemed like a little douchey. So, like, wouldn't be surprised. You'd be like, oh, not surprised. Dahoud seemed really fucking nice and sweet. And so did Jean, and look what happened. And Hugo, and I don't trust anyone now. Anyway, don't go near her. And that is like the you done fucked up, we broke the matrix. When it's like all fuzzy like that. Probably for the best that I don't go near her. I should ask her to wait while I go find one of the staff to help. I wasn't sure what she read from my expression, but I suppose it must be scary to see someone all skin and bones like me. I don't remember her voice, but it doesn't matter. The moment I heard the loneliness in her voice, the idea to leave her evaporated. Because I didn't respond to her simple request right away, I ended up making her feel sad. I internally scolded myself as I quickly put on a smile. Okay, if you don't mind. I slowly and carefully moved toward the bed. Okay, now we pick up the diary for her. But we hesitated. Salome's oh no, she's gonna stab us. She seemed nice. But she'd be the only, like, side character that's tied to Adolphe. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else kind of has a side character that they're tied to. I can't look at Jean this way. Guys, I see him and I just think of our beautiful butler prince, and he's actually his stabby brother. Oh, I don't like it. I like it because it's brilliant, because you're like, I love Jean. Look, he's so sweet and nice, and he's a good side character, and he's actually a psycho. You know, where again, oh, hi, sorry, I got distracted by that CG. That quick science CG. Oh, that man's gorgeous. Listen! Listen! I'm okay dating our great-grandpa over here. He's not even a grandpa. He's like a great-grandpa at this point, if you think about it. He'd be quiet. See, it glitches out when you do that. It's like, no, fuck you, that was wrong. You're like, shit. My instincts told me to seal my lips. Abe's the only one with the right to say anything because it's his business. If I say something now and anger Cyan, he may change his work order into a demand. I was doing my best to somehow hold back my emotions, but it seems none of you are convinced by my reasoning, including the girl. It was as if he read my mind, but strangely enough, he didn't seem very bothered. If he's willing to listen, maybe I can give him my opinion. It's so funny because it's like, you always end up at the right spot. Like, we picked up the thing for the girl, we told Cyan what we thought, but it's that moment of doubt. It's that hesitation of like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't go near her. And the girl's like, oh, you don't want to be near someone as sickly as me. And then we're like, never mind. And like, that usually, like, I mean, I guess it's not usually. It goes one or both ways. Sometimes the bad answer, goes straight to point A to point B. You know what I mean? And the good answer gives you a little more, like, conversation points, and then you get into the stuff. You know what I mean? So these ones, it looks like the bad answers put in moments of hesitation or something else, seeds of doubt in there. So, yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, it's getting worse. Every time you pick a wrong answer, the glitching feels like it's getting worse. Thank you very much. Cyan does not look impressed with us. That's his normal resting bitch face. God, I love it. He better pin me against a wall or a table or something, is all I'm saying, okay? Alright, we're gonna get... Okay, now we're... Oh, this is just a normal conversation. And then Cyan's gonna show up and be like, well, Cyan also seems to know Sister Salome, so that could come up in his route. He's like, I have this contract and I'm taking this girl. You know what? I'm okay with that. And then, okay, so here when we're going to get to our next choice, this is where you need to pay attention. If you weren't, if you were multitasking and you didn't see, so you can see the glitching. Okay, ready? We're going to ask about bedding and not the food supplies. Ready? Are you paying attention? I'll give you a minute. Because, like, otherwise this part's going to end, like, this is going to be like a 15-minute part. Like, whatever. Okay, you good? All right, ready? Oh, never mind. So it doesn't do it the time I told you to watch. You know what? Ain't that just the way? So you looked up from whatever you were doing multitasking and you're like, I did this for that? Really? Really? I came running into the other room for making dinner or like, you know, doing my dishes or like looked up from my sewing or my crochet for that bullshit? I know, I'm sorry. You can always just rewind to the prior choice and see what I'm talking about. So I'll tell you when we get to the next choice, just in case, because that's the last one we have. But anyway, Adelphi said they'd all sleep out here, but they couldn't get the rest they needed if they slept directly on the floor. Adelphi, how many sheets and pillows do you have for guests? None. He's like, I sleep in the fucking fireplace. I'm never gonna get over how his room is literally like just a nook and it literally looks like the fucking hearth of a fireplace. He's like, I cleaned out the fireplace, made it, and I live in there now. And then I got this wood-burning stove over here. A little weird when it rains because of the, you know, the chimney, but... Huh? But it sounded like even Hugo have stayed over often. When we drink, we usually find ourselves dead asleep on the floor anyway. Yeah, bullshit. You all snuggle together in that bed, don't you? You make an adorable man pile. I'm into it. Doesn't sound like a healthy way of enjoying alcohol. She's gonna find out the hard way in a few minutes. We can't have Mathis or the teacher sleep on nothing but their clothes, so I guess we'll get some bedding. If so, then I'll pay. Huh? Are you sure, Mathis? He nodded in response. I'm not much of a help around here, so that's about the only way I can help. I can even pay for the food and... Now, a child like you shouldn't worry about money. And we adults will split the costs. Well, thanks for offering, Mathis. I'm 17 years old. I'm 17! Why does everyone here keep forgetting my age? Like a child like you, and I'm like, he's 17, he's basically an adult. And to be fair, listen, I know it's always weird when we play, like, ye olde time games, and it's like, why are we 15 talking about getting married? But it's like, again, because that's what happened back in ye olde times, and you live to maybe, like, if you live to 40, again, anime logic, that's why anime logic is like, if you're 40, you're basically dead, because you'd be lucky in ye olde times if you live to 40, okay? You're basically dead. So, like, this is kind of taking ye olde time logic with, you only live to 23, it's making it worse. So, like, he's basically like an elder at this point. So, like, you're a child. 12 was, like, middle-aged. That girl in the bed was, like, middle-aged over there. Like, we're like, respect your... I mean, I guess because you could become a reliver. That, like, whatever. But, like, I feel like by the time you... Like, he's an adult now. Regardless of whether... Well, adults are 18. No. I feel like here, by the time you're 60, you better be getting on with your life, because you're gonna tick-tock, clock's ticking. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess there is something weird about that, where it's like, it's not like, well, even that, like, obviously, like, now, when you're like, I'm 45 and I want to have a baby, they're like, okay, geriatric pregnancy, because, like, your body only produces eggs for so long, and, like, it's okay, things happen to your body as you get older. So it is more of a struggle if you're 45 than if you're 25. Sure. But we got modern science and modern medicine, okay? Where, like, you can make things easier. But, like, you were, in ye olde times, having kids younger. because you were going to die younger. So even in this one where you're just going to drop dead at 23, it's not like, oh, well, geriatric at 23, but like your body normally, aside from whatever gets in your lungs, but the rest of you's functioning, you could still have a baby at 22. Would that be really fair though? Getting knocked up at 22, having a kid that's you're just gonna drop dead on it if you're not gonna become a reliver, you know what I mean? So like, but it's weird to be treating someone who's like 17, and obviously it's because he looks young, not because of his age, but it is just funny though that it's like, oh, this child, and it's like, I know I look 12. It's also funny in the sense of like me and like baby face little Math is like, he's adorable, our little baby boy over here, and it's like, I'm like the same age as you, bitch. Half the time he's older than us, and I'm like, no, but you look 12, so that's all that matters. So they're basically playing into me, which I find funny. Anyway. Actually, he's really only one, but, you know. Oh, I apologize for being so rude. I simply assumed by her looks. Lucas apologized with a confused expression as Mathis repeated his age with teary eyes.
And go ahead and accept his offer. The Claude family has enough money to burn.
Cyan, who had been lying down and reading papers for some time, finally spoke.
Anyway, I heard you leaders of Karun and the Corps stayed overnight at that hospital. And because they're managed by that Society of Exorcists, you'll need every last coin you can get to pay off those exorbitant bills.
Even Adolphe looked startled. The invoice must have arrived recently, as Adolphe quickly turned and grabbed the envelope that was near him. I like that we're getting this, because this could have been. This has nothing to do with betting, so I find it amusing that this is in here, so I don't think this was a wrong choice. Obviously, hence, we didn't get the glitching. The two of them slowly looked over the invoice, their faces going pale. I am glad, though, that we got to see this, because it's funny. Eve, how much can you afford this month?
I spent a good amount maintaining my sword, so probably not much.
I'm sorry. I should have told you about their costs before I introduced you to them. Apparently, the figure on the invoice was a digit more than they thought. I wondered whether the autopsies that had been performed in secrecy had been included in the costs.
Oh, if you really need help, please let me pitch in. I inherited a sizable sum from my parents. In fact, I have enough to shred and toss out into the licorice fields.
Mathis, do not ever say such a thing in Cohen or anywhere else for that matter. Understood? And so, we obtained a supporter to provide the funds we needed for our operation. I wonder how, Jean Camille over there feels about that. You know what I mean? Oh, that's true. He's actually not here. He's off doing whatever. But when he finds out, you know what I mean? Okay, this is our last choice. This is where we're going to get our endings. So, we're going to go out into the field. So, again, maybe it'll glitch this time. So, all right. If not, again, just rewind to a prior choice. No, it didn't do it. You know what? All the times I've been telling you to look, it doesn't fucking... Anyway, you can at least rewind and see one of the prior choices. God damn, what the fuck? Just figures. Unsure of what to do, I decided to head to the field when... So what, Eve? Why aren't they growing that well?
Well, just a guess. Although I think it has something to do with the weather. The soil and the general environment look solid. Well, they should be fine if you continue taking care of them as usual. If that doesn't work, let me know and I'll mix some fertilizer.
Thanks. They were crouching on the ground, staring at some sprouts growing from the topsoil. I probably shouldn't get in their way now. Maybe I should go somewhere else. Oh, you know what, though? This makes sense, too. So, like, the bedding versus the food, that probably doesn't make a difference at all because it was just a different portion of the conversation. And this, because this is the field, the other was the yard. I forget, the one that we chose. That's where we see Mathis trying to learn how to fight, or like whatever, training with Cyan, right? And Lucas is there. So that's just us seeing those three. this is now us just seeing these two. So these choices don't, I guess, matter. It's just, depending on it only matters in the did you want to see the scene with A or did you want to see B? But it doesn't matter for getting either a good ending or a bad ending. We probably could have chosen any one of the two and still gotten our, I wouldn't say good ending, but you know what I mean. Like it, you know, these last two choices don't affect like getting this bad ending. It was those first three choices where you could see the static, like that's bad. Okay. That makes sense. Because I'm like, why would seeing them be bad? But yeah, alright, okay, makes sense now. I probably shouldn't get in their way now. Maybe I should go somewhere else. Just as I was about to head back, the two of them noticed my presence and straightened up. It's you.
Have you come to see us, or do you need some help?
No, not at all. I was just wandering around, that's all. I've always wondered how they're able to sense when someone else is around. I was impressed that they were able to develop this skill as part of their training. Are you two talking about the vegetables?
Oh yeah, Adolphe was asking me about the state of the plants he's growing. Oh, wait. You know about Adolphe's other job outside the core, right?
You mean selling produce at the marsh? Or marché, whatever. I looked around at the field, abundant with a bounty of vegetables. Adolphe's vegetables are pretty popular at the whatever. Now I just feel so weird like I'm saying it wrong. Oh. But again, by the time you get to the part that I'm asking about, like, am I pronouncing this? Like, someone's probably going to tell me the first time I say it wrong, so. I don't think you've seen that part yet. I don't know. Actually, by now, 2 parts have gone up. I'm recording this before the 3rd part goes up. It'll be going up shortly. But, so, okay, maybe we've seen the marché, or whatever. So someone will tell me in that, like, girl, that's so wrong. So then I'll fix it when we get to Lucas's route, maybe. Unless nobody tells me. Then, like, you're stuck with whatever. But I'll try to fix it if I'm pronouncing this. Some of the other ones, we ain't fixing because they just sound stupid. So, like, shooty. You know what? I'm gonna remember shooty in my head every single time I need to laugh in the face of my trauma because, motherfucker, that sounds so ridiculous. Anyway.
Adolphe's vegetables are pretty popular at the Marché Marsh. Everyone talks about how fresh and flavorful they are.
Look at his lettuce. Sounded weird when you look at his lettuce. It was there in the corner, but it just sounded inappropriate somehow. Just as Eve worked with the core and had Karun as a side business, likewise, Adolphe's secondary source of income was growing vegetables around his house and selling them at the marsh, which we already know. Okay, I was like, we've explained this before, so I was like, I don't think we've read this exact scene, but we have had this explanation. He kept saying that it wasn't like him to do something like this, but each time he brought his vegetables to the marsh, they sold out in no time, so he definitely had the skill for it. How adorable. He has the skill of life, and we have the skill of death. That's interesting. Adolphe began to speak in a quiet voice. And the one who taught me how to grow those fresh and flavorful vegetables was Eve. Huh? I looked at Eve, who appeared embarrassed as he scratched his cheek.
I've always had a green thumb, and led to learning more about growing and cross-pollinating plants. In fact, I used to grow veggies myself to sell at the marsh. I was thinking of dropping in after opening Karun, and for personal reasons, so...
I was looking for a second job, and that's when he taught me everything he knew. Their bromance is adorable. I see. Looking back, when Adolphe was still living at the orphanage, he hardly had any knowledge or interest in plants or farming. There was a time when I was confused by why he suddenly started growing vegetables after living alone, but I felt a lot better now that I finally had the answer. So that means Eve was your gardening teacher, right? Yeah, I guess you can say that. I still ask him for advice whenever I get stuck.
Isn't it nice to know how a simple hobby would one day help you bond with someone you call a friend?
A bestie. God, their bromance. I love it. I think Adolphe's like, oh my god, stop it! He's so cute when he blushes. Oh my, wait, I'm sorry. Like, he looks so, like, Adolphe's the one that's, like, usually so collected and put together, so there is something about his little, like, the eyes and the little blush on his cheeks and the awkward look on his face where he's just like, okay, like, it's so cute. Oh my god, stop it. We're about to die in this ending and they have to give you something that adorable. This is why I hate this game. I don't really hate it, but like that's the trauma, the worst part of this is like they give you these cute, beautiful little moments and you have your little bromances and everything's you're like our friends and our found family and everything's so light and fluffy and great and then we get stabbed or kidnapped and and then have to marry our boyfriend's brother, sorta, kinda. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone dies and they're like, like listen to the music too. Like it's so pretty and happy and this it's like trauma that I love it because they give you these moments where you're like everything is okay and then they just bitch slap you in the face with no it's not, motherfucker. Screw you. Like oh, I just love Adolphe's little blush face. I think that's my favorite thing ever right now. It's with the smile. You mean the giggle that I can't let go of? I'm just happy, that's all. Till now, I've been worried. I didn't know much about what you were doing or whether things were okay after you started living on your own. I'm just glad to know you have friends you can invite home to spend good times with. He's still blushing and it's still cute. It's gonna kill me. Guys, I don't think my heart can take it. You sound like you're my mother. I'm your sister.
Well, it's rare to see you blush, Adolphe. I wish Hugo was around to see this.
I love that Eve just called him out on it. He's like, look at you, you're blushing. It's adorable. Right? Eve and I are in the corner nudging each other. It's so cute. Shut up. Adolphe turned his back to us, and Eve and I smiled at each other. He's so adorable. I decided to stay there to offer what help I could, pulling the weeds and helping tend to the field. And then we went right into skip, and it's like before it's like the music. All right, so here's where we're gonna die. I don't know how. Oh, this is where everyone's getting drunk. Cyan, who, could have engineered having a better alcohol tolerance, gets drunk after taking 4 sips. It's adorable. Oh, here's our beautiful other boyfriend. Oh, no, he's gone. Listen, Cyan still is my number one. I don't know why this motherfucker's so hot. Anko's goddamn gorgeous. Adolphe's sexy as shit. Eve's adorable. Like I don't think he's like, not adorable, like, oh, you're adorable. Like, no, like, he's like the cute pretty, but I love him. Lucas is like beautiful, beautiful, like angel beautiful, like ethereal beautiful. And Mathis is just kind of like adorable. I actually love all the characters. Mathis isn't my type just because he's got a little baby face. Though sometimes his sprites are really pretty and you're like, okay. But like, I enjoyed his route. Like, sometimes we have like the baby face little love interests and you're like, nah, I'm not into them at all. But the route's good. I can at least go, the route is good. So like if you're interested in the adorable faced ones, definitely I can see why you enjoy it. With Mathis, it's like, no, I really enjoyed his route. He's still not gonna be my favorite just because he's got the little baby face, but I don't necessarily put him in the same category as like, look at the adorable little baby, not interested at all. It's like, you're in that weird space of like, I don't want to date you, but I really enjoy your route and I really like you as a character, like, and like I'm not mad about it. Usually the baby face ones, I'm like, no, I don't wanna, you know? But anyway, in response to my reply, Anko just stares at me with his beautiful face. I see. So that's your answer. He mumbled something, then just laughing maniacally. He began to laugh like a madman. Ah, how foolish of me. Of all people, it seems I still cannot understand you. No matter how much hope or opportunity I give you, if you don't have a strong enough will to live, then my efforts will be shriveled up by your petty despair. Anko? Oh, he's lost his marbles. Till now, he was mysterious and so strangely alluring. He's still strangely alluring. But now he had an eccentric, mad aura, which is also strangely alluring. The Lycorises around me, there was no wind, yet they were trembling as if in fear of his insane laughter. Like, we just pushed him to the brink of madness. Took a step forward. I instinctively took a step back. His cold and fearsome red eyes were fixed upon me as if they wouldn't let me go. My dear princess, the fact that you do not seek happiness as a normal human is no different than wishing for death. I mean, well, I'm death, but you're the watchman of death, so maybe I'm wishing for you. Did you ever think about that? Would have been better if he was death. You'd be like, I am wishing for you, actually. Wink, wink. Not the time for pickup lines. Never mind. He gave a warped smile. If you refuse life so much, then please do give me your soul. Ooh! It did say we get a CG. Unlocks a CG. Anko hugging us. He embraced me with all his might. Before I could even think about struggling to escape, the hand he wrapped around me pressed something into my back. I shivered in fear of what he was going to do, and he gave me a gentle smile. I now offer you a way to escape this hideously arrogant land filled with death. We'll go to Hades together, a place of neither hope nor despair. We can surrender ourselves to the embrace of happiness as death. His kind, gentle whisper was the last I heard. I felt something pierce my back. The field of Lycoris, it was I who wilted. Reddish-black blood sprayed the flowers. Well, damn! Well, you knew we were gonna die, but, like, wasn't really expecting Anko to kill us. Like... I do find it interesting now that I'm, like, looking at this cover that, like... I mean, like, Math is sitting alone and sad, and you think about, like, his route. Cyan's all strapped up to machines. That's interesting. But, like... I mean, I guess it's because Anko and Adolphe kind of share a route, which is weird. But, like, why do they both, like... I mean, that's why they're the big in the background, because they share the climactic route, like the end route, before you can do everything else. You know what I mean? But, like, why do they both look crazy? What's gonna go down in that one? Anyway. So... Special. Go to our gallery. Is it under more? Well, we can look at the more ones. You know what I mean? Might as well look at these. And we'll use the... I mean, technically, I guess that CG we unlocked was an Anko CG, but... You know. See if any of these work for our ending of this one. Hey, we made it 30 minutes, so that's not bad. A lot of it was me rambling, but that's okay. You know we do. Oh, no, this is it. We'll use this one. This is great. Look at this. Everybody drunk CG. Great times. Okay, I am still concerned about... Look at Lucas's fang. Why he got fangs? Is he a motherfucking vampire? Do we have vampires in this? Whoops. This is all so good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm assuming the last CG we got, the one we just unlocked, was an Unco CG. So I'm not going to use that one because we're going to go through and see Uncos. I was going to use it, but I'm like, it's the end of, because it technically came up in the bad ending, but they tag it as an Unco CG. So, you know what I mean? We'll oogle it more when we get to the end with him. You know what I mean? However that works. Like, is it gonna? Don't tell me. I'm just kind of like trying to ponder things out. Like, is it gonna be like a split in that route between the two of them? You know what I mean? Interesting. But anyway, this is adorable. He's all right. This is so good. Cyan looks like he's going to vomit. Is he crying? He looks like he's crying. Oh, is he crying because of the fish? Who knows? The good times we had, we just did horrible, tragic endings, and I'm over here like, this is fun. Look at this. But you know what I mean? That's what we need. So, again, it'll be a day for you. It will be probably maybe a week for me or so before we get back into doing Lucas's route. But I think he is the next one. Let me actually say. Let me find our thing. Do 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 do. Whoopsie, that's me. Why can't I find the? I think it is yes, Lucas. Ah, then Cyan. Interesting. Mathis, Lucas, Cyan, Eve, then Adolphe, Onco. Okay, obviously because they're Les Salut or whatever. Salut, whatever. Anyway, so we will be starting Lucas's route then. Not tomorrow, but the day after for you. So that's all I got. The bad ends, I mean, are standard. We're used to bad ends like that, so not too traumatizing. We're okay. To be fair, they were like a fun ride compared to Mathis's ending. Is that? No. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.